Okay, folks, what do we have here? MAGA pastor says the majority of women are not capable of responsible voting. Oh, what a scumbag. So true. All right, let's start with the definition of freedom. Every single human being should have the right to voice their opinion in the way that their society is run and how it moves forward. That is freedom. I don't care if you think people are stupid or ill-informed and that's why they shouldn't be able to vote, or they're just, women and they shouldn't be able to vote. That is anti-freedom. That is anti-freedom, full stop. So what I'm saying is this is already, before we even listen to this idiot, this is already anti-freedom. It doesn't matter how you feel about women and their decision-making and how that leads to them voting. It doesn't matter. It is a fundamental civil and human right, in this church's opinion, that anybody should have a say in the way their society is run because they exist in that society, and every single one of us should have an equal say. That is freedom. Oh, that is blessed. All right. We're not going to have a fun time listening to this, but let's take a listen to this absolute smooth brain moron, and let's hear what he has to say.
At least one of America's biggest threats is white liberal women, because they are the ones literally opening up the doors of immigration, passing laws that degenerate society, releasing criminals to be repeat offenders, aborting babies by the hundreds of thousands and millions. It's why I really believe that we must, as a nation, repeal the 19th Amendment. Okay, the majority.
Okay, again, and I'm so sick of you people out here thinking, you need to agree with me or else you shouldn't vote. That's not freedom. It doesn't matter if you have disagreements with someone over policy, okay? It doesn't matter. They should be allowed to vote because that is called freedom. That is called true freedom in society. And that should be equal across the board. That should be equal across the board. If it isn't, you're a scumbag. You're a troglodyte and you're a scumbag. All right? I have to say this so many times on videos, all the time. Too many of you out there think that when people don't agree with me, they don't deserve freedom. The agreement part doesn't matter. This guy says, well, all of these policies lead from women voting, which, by the way, false, but whatever. Even if you think that's true, it doesn't matter. Fight in the realm of ideas, change people's minds based on the merits of what you have to say, and then maybe the things that you want to happen will happen. It doesn't matter if people have disagreements with you. They should have their freedom. You can't say, I don't like you, so you shouldn't have freedom. Fuck that. That's bullshit. That is anti-freedom. Okay, I can't make that any more clear. These people like this disgusting scumbag cloak themselves in like, well, listen, folks who agree with me, we've got to not let women vote because they don't align with us. That doesn't matter. It doesn't. Disagreements happen between all of us every day. What are you going to do? Tell everyone else they're not allowed to be who they are? They have to be exactly what you want them to be? No, we reject that because that's anti-freedom.
The majority of women are not capable of responsible voting. We can see that just even in this video. Right? These are all people that...
This guy's not capable of making coherent arguments that aren't completely anti-freedom.
Vote. Okay, the majority of women can't do this responsibly. And
again, because he thinks you don't agree with me. Fuck that. It doesn't matter.
One last thing I want to say. What men are raising these people, right? Whoever you are, whatever father you are, whatever husband
I am a father.
You are an utter failure. Okay, men, you must...
This guy's an utter failure because if he has a daughter, he's telling his daughters, you don't deserve freedom. You don't deserve freedom. And then his daughters will sit there and think, why? Just because I'm a woman? Just because I'm a woman who might disagree with you? What a weak little troglodyte this guy is. Troglodyte. We are not going to stand for freedoms being taken away. Period. Again, too many of you get all caught up in the, well, they disagree with me, so they shouldn't have rights. That's fundamentally anti-freedom and wrong. What if the powers that be are atheists and say, Christian isn't the right way to be, so now you can't be a Christian. It's the same thing. And yet here you people are. People like this guy saying this dumb shit. Doesn't make any sense.
Learn to disciple your wives and raise your daughters to not be feminists, to be sound in judgment, to have wisdom and understanding, so that we don't have a catastrophe on our hands of people thinking this way.
This guy is such an anti-freedom piece of crap. And we hate it here. And it's so easy to dismantle his way of thinking by just saying straightforward. So what you're saying is you don't like when people disagree with you, so they shouldn't have the same rights as you. So you get rights because you're saying, well, I'm right, but everybody else who disagrees can't have the same rights that I have. That's insane. That's insane and bullshit. Insane and bullshit. Let's take a look at some of these comments. Dudes like this are so afraid of women that are smarter, more accomplished, and more capable than him. True. True, and that's a threat to them. So they'll say to themselves, oh, we can't have this. We can't have this. So we just should tell them they can't have the things I have. Fuck that. Yes, they can. Regardless of the agreement or not. Oh my gosh, bro. If they're MAGA, the totality of MAGA are not capable of responsible voting. When it comes to gas prices, so true. So true. Check his internet history and hard drives. Every single time this is the right thing to say. Every single time. It's always projection. It's always projection. Now, I don't know about the internet history and hard drives, but he's projecting the fact that he doesn't like that people disagree with him. He can't fathom that someone else would have different ideas. You can't talk to them. You can't figure it out. No, you just have to say, nope, you're terrible because you don't agree with me. What a childlike way of thinking. What an insane way to shut yourself off from the perspectives of others, to understand them, to show empathy, to show love, to spread freedom. That's the right way to be. There you go. Oh, hey, look, a weak-ass, terrified, threatened guy is cosplaying what they call an alpha again. That shit's hilarious. Correct. This is their idea of an alpha, to control. No. A true alpha embraces the disagreements we all have, discusses them together, and allows people to have their freedom. Full stop. That's a true alpha. That's a true alpha. And if you have disagreements with someone, again, talk to them. Try to lay out your viewpoint. See where it goes. Understand where they're coming from. No, you guys don't, because you guys are childlike, and you just want to be like, no, I want to control you. We're not going to stand for it. We're always going to preach against it. We're not going to stand for it. Brought to you by the people who elected Trump twice. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about stupid people who can't elect the right people, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look at the outcome of the last election. I don't think many in this country are capable of responsible voting. There's a lot of that. And listen, look at the gas prices. Look at the gas prices. Look at all the dumb shit that we're in. Look at the economy not doing well. It's just there. It's just there. Let alone look back to January 6th and you're going to elect this guy again? Okay. Says the guy who will vote Republican no matter how bad they get. Yeah, yo, the chip people in the brain meme, these are the people. Because once again, they couldn't comprehend that someone else can live a different lifestyle in a peaceful way. They couldn't comprehend that they can just talk to them, understand where they come from, empathize, and even lay out your arguments. Maybe you change their mind. But you don't change people's minds by being preachy and controlling and telling people what to do. That's not how you do it. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. That's how you alienate people. That's the opposite of building community. You don't give a shit about other human beings. You don't. You know who did? Jesus. You don't act anything like Jesus. Zero parts like Jesus, who tried to understand people's perspectives. Understand empathy is good in the sense that everyone has a natural right to their own freedom. And I should think about why they are where they are in life and how they came to that conclusion. And maybe it'll help me grow as a person. Maybe. Oh, what a novel concept. Grow as a person instead of being a trifling male scumbag who just points at women and say, you shouldn't have the same rights I do. That's what this is. That's what this is. Oh, boy. Subscribe for more wisdom.